Assalamualaikum and hi to Dr. Fitri and my fellow classmates. We are from group case study 5. We will present a case study about adventure tourism in New Zealand.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Sir Fitri and also my fellow classmate. Okay, today I will present about the summary of case study group 5, which is the title is adventure tourism in New Zealand. Okay, first of all, what is adventure tourism? According to the Adventure Travel Trade Association, or the short form is ATA, it defines adventure tourism as a trip that includes at least two of the following three elements. The first one is physical activity, natural environment, and also a cultural immersion. It also describes New Zealand as one of the best countries to attract adventure travelers to do their adventure tourism. In that country, for example, is the Queenstown. Okay, for your information, New Zealand has become recognized as a destination that encourages adventure travel in many different forms, including adventure tourism. The wide open spaces and temperate climate have provided the country with an opportunity to exploit this type of tourism. The country has also developed adventure experiences which are possible because of the wide open spaces that are available in the country. Furthermore, one example of this is the Great New Zealand Trek, which is it is possible to complete on foot, bike, or horseback. Certain areas of New Zealand have promoted themselves as being particularly suitable for adventure travel. Okay, and then we proceed to the discussion points, which is question 1. Okay, the question is discuss the reasons for a growth of interest in adventure-based holidays. Okay, actually in this case study, there are a few reasons. Okay, the reasons for a growth of interest in adventure-based holidays are, according to the Swarbrick et al. 2003, there are several core characteristics of adventure tourism, which are certain outcomes, danger and risk, challenges, anticipated rewards, novelty, stimulation and excitement, escapism and inspiration, exploration and discovery, absorption and focus, also contrasting emotions. Besides that, the reasons for a growth of interest in adventure based on holiday also influenced by attraction types of adventure travel was provided. In the meantime, the wide open spaces and temperature climate are an opportunity to develop a destination as area of adventure travel. Also the reasons for growth of interest in adventure-based holiday. For example, the Great New Zealand Trek, which it is possible to complete on foot, bike, or horseback. Okay, and then subsequently, we proceed to another point. Furthermore, adventure travelers divide from these three groups, which are not uniform group, and they are firstly older people or senior who want to experience new things and different from usual. The second one, a group of backpackers known as adventure tourists and always want holidays that are different from other traveler. The last group is a new group who want to try something they most like to do. Until 2001. Okay, and then another reason for the growth is certain areas in New Zealand have promoted themselves as being particularly suitable for adventure travel. For instance, Queenstown has promoted itself as being particularly suitable as a town where tourists can undertake a wide range of adventurous activities. Okay, next is New Zealand's landscape and temperature climate lends itself to outdoor activity. The country is renowned for its range of adventure pastimes, the best known being such as bungee jumping, skydiving, jet boat riding, rafting, and also skiing. Then, being a creative bunch, New Zealand adventure operators are always adding new dimensions to activities available, as well as new activities themselves. Okay, next, as you can see in the slide, there are a few examples for the adventure tourism or activities in New Zealand that you can participate or participate. Okay, for example, is bungee jumping and also skydiving in New Zealand. The first picture is a bungee jumping in Kawarau Bridge, and also the ledge Queenstown, and the skydiving Franz Joseph skydiving, and also the last one is in Abel Tasman skydiving, which is one of the most popular or attraction in New Zealand.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nushaira binti Abdul Rahman. I'm going to present a case study, and the question 2 is find an example of one travel company that operate in New Zealand and discuss the way in which this company has advertised to potential customers and discuss any improvement that you would make to their campaign. Okay, one travel company that operate in New Zealand is Active Adventure New Zealand. Okay, ways in which this company has advertised to potential customer, which is first is have a good website. A good website such as useful links, blog that people can read for the review of that place and contact information that easily for people to contact that travel company. Okay, second is custom and special interest option. They often find that families, group, a special interest group or group of friends prefer to travel on their own custom trip rather than being part of a group experiencing one of the itineraries we already have in place. For example, clubs and groups, wildlife tours, honeymoon tours, single tours, extreme tours, and more. Okay, designing your custom adventure. If your group has decided you like to have your own custom trip and likes to look of one of our itinerary, that it's really easy to tailor it to the kind of adventure you are after. And alternatively, if you look through their trips and find that none of them are a good starting point for your adventure design, then they can start from the ground up and build something just the way you want it. Okay, next is combo package. Your guides can help you plan your free day in Queenstown when you arrive and even make booking for you. But they will try to cover some of the many activities, walks, tours, and trips available here. And the last is offer and list all interesting adventure activities exclusive that available in New Zealand. Okay, among of the activities that offered by the tour company are hiking, mountain biking, bungee jumping, jet boating, water rafting, skydiving, golf fishing, and wine tasting. Okay, any improvement that I would make to their campaign? Okay, first is highlight the benefit of your product or service. Instead of trying to compete with your competitors, focus on pointing out the unique benefit of your service. Ask your existing satisfied customer for a review, highlighting all the positive aspects of the experiences they have had with your agency. And most satisfied customers won't hesitate to give a testimony. Some might even be glad to post it proudly on your company website and watch as you attract new potential clients. Okay, next is engage with customer in social media. Travelers of all age groups are using social media networks where they talk about travel products, share experiences, or express their preference. Use image, video, question, or status to spark conversation and motivate potential clients to follow you. Listening to their comments and receiving feedback helps you create better tailored trips and package. The third is upsell product, provide and experiences. Suggesting additional products on top of a standard package is the most straightforward method of increasing your revenue per customer. For example, if your customer is going on a city tour of Madrid, offer lunch and dinner option to get along with it. On the other hand, an observatory tour operator who offer private telescope viewing session might offer a glass of wine and tapas prior to the viewing to make the experience more romantic for a couple who book it. Next is package travel component into unique travel products. Combine different products into a unique travel experience. Create a package and try to offer a better price by selling hotel, flight, and an activity together. This way, your customer get a fuller travel experience and you have the opportunity to sell more service and travel items than if you were selling them individually. Moreover, find a travel niche market. One way to be a successful travel company is to establish your business in a niche market. The travel niche doesn't need to be complicated or rare, but the more unique it is, the better. Niche travel means you are selling some things that no one else sells and that your product is different in some ways. Okay, the last one is pay attention to how people search for travel. People are switching between mobile and desktop. In general, most mobile travel searchers are looking for ideas and to compare price, while the majority of desktop travel searchers are ready or nearly ready to purchase or book a reservation. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to Dr. Fitri and all my fellow classmates. My name is Nur Afika binti Adnan, and for the case study, I've got a questions about critically analyze the natural factors that are necessary for the development of adventure tourism in New Zealand. For the first factor is climate. Since the Maori people named New Zealand the land of the long white cloud, or known as Aotearoa, the climate has been paramount importance to the people of New Zealand, many of whom make their living from the land. New Zealand has a mild temperatures, moderately high rainfall, and many hours of sunshine throughout of the country. Its climate is dominated by two main geographical, which is the mountains and the sea. For the rainfall, the New Zealand's average rainfall is high, between 640 mm and 1,500 mm, and evenly spread throughout the year. As well as producing areas of stunning native forests, this high rainfall makes New Zealand an ideal place for farming and horticulture. As for the spring lasts from September to November, and New Zealand's spring weather can range from cool and frosty to warm and hot. During spring buds, blossoms, and other new growths burst forth throughout the country, and newborn lambs frolic in the fields just before dusk. Both Alexandra in central Otago and Haslings in Hawke's Bay celebrate spring with a blossom festival. If you are into whitewater rafting, this is the time when melting spring snow makes river water level excitingly high. New Zealand winter months of June to August bring colder weather to much of the country and more rain to most areas in the North Islands. Mountain range in both islands has become snow-covered, providing beautiful vistas and excellent skiing, while the South Island has a cooler winter temperature. Some areas of the islands experience little rainfall in winter, so this is an excellent time to visit glaciers, mountains, and areas of scenic beauty. Next, the second factor is landscape. New Zealand enjoys varied landscape and dramatic geographical features, from cascading glaciers to active volcanoes, from placid lakes to vast mountain range. This amazing geography has made New Zealand a popular location for tourists, as well as the production of television programs and films, including the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy. As you all can know, New Zealand's southern Alps have a number of glaciers, the largest being Tasman Glacier, which you can view by taking a short walk from Mount Cook village. New Zealand's most famous glaciers are the Franz Joseph and Fox on the South Island's west coast. Goggled up by moving ice over thousands of years, these spectacular glaciers are easily accessible to mountaineers and hikers. You can walk up to the glaciers or do a heli hike up by helicopter and walk down. In the winter, there's the thrill of skiing and snowboarding, carving your way down any of dozens of pristine backcountry ski fields. For the climber, Mount Cook Auraki National Park contains New Zealand's hike peaks with experienced guides ready to take you to the top. Hunting is a popular pastime in New Zealand, so there's plenty of opportunity to seek the nimble tahr and chamois up the mountains or deer in the thousands of hectares of unspoiled forests. You can do many activities at there, such as exploring New Zealand's magnificent landscape and coastline top list for many fantastic cycling and walking trails dot to the country from nose to soles, or try kayaking, sailing, or diving. If you are after New Zealand's famous adventurous activities and extreme sports, there are myriad to choose from. Bungee jumping, a must-do, while rafting, jet boating, skydiving, and zip lining offer a similar rush. The third factor is a seascape. New Zealand has over 15,000 kilometers of beautiful and varied coastline. In the far north and on most of the east coast of the North Island, you will find a long sandy beaches perfect for swimming, surfing, and sunbathing. The North Island's west coast has a dark sandy beaches with sand heavy in iron. The north of the South Island has some beautiful sandy beaches, while the coastline around the rest of the South Island tends to be wilder and more rugged. From Murawai Beach in Auckland, which has a fantastic gannet colony, to Cathedral Cove in Hawaii, one of the most recognizable beaches in New Zealand with its famous cave featured in one of the Narnia movies. New Zealand is one of the best countries in the world for seascape photography and an incredible setting to explore how the land meets the sea. Last but not least factor is flora and fauna, which can only be found at New Zealand. New Zealand is very famous for its diversity of stunning landscapes. Less well known, it is unique plant and animal life. You may have heard of a few iconic species, which is the national bird, the kiwi of course, and perhaps the giant kauri tree, whose immensity rivals that of the Californian sequoia. As for the flora, the most majestic is kauri tree, known as Agastya australis. Is the only member of the coniferous genus that is endemic to New Zealand. A kauri tree can grow up to 16 meters tall with an impressive trunk giz of up to 16 meters and live for as long as 200 years. Pohutukawa, or known as Metrosideros excelsa, is a New Zealand's most iconic flowering tree. The native Pohutukawa is a coastal species that lines beaches or clings to cliffs around the North Island. As for the fauna, New Zealand is known as the seabird capital of the world and is also home to a number of forest birds that live nowhere else on Earth. Bats are New Zealand's only native mammal. Next is Maori folklore refers to bats as paka-paka and associate them with a mythical night-flying bird Hokioi, which foretells death or a disaster. They are in danger of extinction in the medium term if nothing is done to reverse their population declines. These species are high priority for conservation. So there are the 4 points that I've mentioned, which is climate, landscape, seascape, and the flora and the fauna that have been critically analysed the natural factors that are necessary for the development of adventure tourism in New Zealand. So that's all from me. With that, thank you.
Assalamualaikum and a very good evening. My name is Naza binti Najwanuddin, and today I'll be presenting about the human-made factors that are necessary for the development of adventure travel in New Zealand. So I've chosen 4 points for the human-made factors. So number one, it will be activities. Um, an adventure is an exciting experience that is typically bold, sometimes risky, and also undertaking. It also involves exploration and recreation activities, and there are various types of adventure activities that can be done for adventure seeking tourists in New Zealand, which are also known as the home of adventure tourism. Some of the activities that can be done in New Zealand are bungee jumping in Kawarau Bridge, kayak in Abel Tasman National Park, jet boating in Shotover River, canyon swing in Shotover River, and more. Number two, it will be accessibility. So accessibility shall be necessary for the development of adventure travel. It will make tourist travel experience easier and better. Examples of accessibility can be such as transportations for tourists to move from one place to another, accommodations for tourists to rest after a day full of adventure, restaurants, guide services, and more. Besides that, New Zealand also has the disability support services where they can provide you with the specialist knowledge, advices, and resources you need for your circumstances. This will encourage tourists, be it the slow walkers, wheelchair users, or people with sensory or learning impairments, to come to New Zealand and experience doing this adventure um, activities by themselves. Number three, it will be job opportunities. So the rise of the tourism industry in any area creates job opportunities for locals and also the foreigners. The jobs are created as a result of the development projects, which may need both experts and also casual laborers. With the emergence of adventure activities, they shall have people with the credibility and experience of the activities itself to help guide the tourists who want to experience these various types of adventure activities. And lastly, adventure travel may cause soil compaction because of recreation activities. The activities reduce pore spaces, hence lack of air and also water infiltration. The results of soil compaction are loss of vegetation, soil erosion, and due to soil erosion, it will also reduce the quality of water, and it will also affect the flora and also fauna. So, to ensure that the adventure travel runs through for more years to come, they shall limit the amount of tourists who wants to be part of the doing the adventure activities to a certain amount of tourists per day. So that will be all for me. Thank you for listening.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Khadijah Zulaika binti Abdurrahim. I will be presenting on the last question in this case study, which is question 4. So question 4 asks to evaluate the types of people who are likely to favor an adventure-based holiday. So before that, I want to tell you guys about the definition of adventure tourism. So adventure tourism is involve exploration and also travel with a certain degree of risk and may require special skills. So according to the US based, adventure travel might be any tourist activities that include physical activities, cultural exchange, and also connection with nature. Okay, so the types of people Number one is the older people who want to experience new things. So today's senior traveler is fit, healthy, and young at heart. So many elderly travelers come to New Zealand for walks, hiking, and much more. The incredibly beautiful and diverse landscape in the New Zealand and the wide range of activities means that there is an activity in New Zealand to suit any fitness level. So if you are fit and healthy enough to enjoy a typical busy day out in your hometown, so you'll be able to enjoy a day on one of the tour package in New Zealand. So example of activities that suit to this type of people, which is older people, such as kayaking, hot air ballooning, jet boating, and motorcycle tours, and much more. Number two, the backpackers who want holidays that are different from others. So there are no rules when it comes to New Zealand backpacking. So enjoy the rush of outdoor sports, experience the culture and traditions when you backpack in New Zealand. A backpacking holiday in New Zealand will inspire you, and as well as offering more awe-inspiring experience and activities. So New Zealand is home to friendly locals, a unique Kiwi culture, and host to like-minded travelers. And some of the activities that suitable for this type of traveler, which is the backpackers, such as bungee jumping, fly by wire, gliding, heli skiing, hunting, mountain climbing, parasailing, um, windsurfing, and much more. So number three for the types of people is a new group of consumer who see adventure as an exciting alternative to the more to the traditional holiday. So I think this type of people is more to not so older, but it is more like a family travel, but it is more to adventure activities that they want to try. So example for the activities that are suitable for this type of traveler, um, such as kayaking, caving, rafting, boating, and so on. So in New Zealand, there are many places that you can go to experience adventure activities, or maybe other types of activities. Okay, so however, New Zealand has the perfect holiday for you. All you need to do is just Google it and maybe survey to explore more activities before you go to the places. Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Aisha Mariam binti Abdul Salim, and I am going to present to you the last question of the case study, which is question number 4, and my part is to explore the ways in which you would promote a destination to these types of people. As you know, there are many ways to promote a destination or an activities. It is either through websites, brochures, articles or advertisement, direct mail marketing, advertisement in magazines or newspapers, exhibition at trade shows or notices. Next is promotional tools selected if the activities are found in a country. So there are two types, international tourists and local tourists. For international tourists, there are websites featuring all activities or required information in different languages. For example, if you are a tourist from Korea, there are Korean languages available on the website. Next, brochures or flyers. So the brochures or flyers contain specific activities or enquiries which can be found at the airport or travel agencies. Next is the current trend, which is vlogging. Vlogging is a form of blog which the medium is video. So it features international celebrities or Insta famous doing activities or going to a certain country to endorse a product. So they usually post the vlog on YouTube. Next is advertisement in international specialized magazine. For example, a specialized magazine on fishing, on mountain climbing, or snowboarding, where it only focus on that activity. Next is international talk show, where you offer promotional holidays at the talk show. For example, the Ellen DeGeneres show, where she awarded gifts to her audiences in a game participation. And lastly, international events. For example, the Tour de Langkawi or Tour de France. So moving on for the local tourists, they are about the same promotional tools as in the international tourists, but they focus on the locals. For example, the brochures or flyers, they are in local languages, and TV ads, they are TV advertisement featuring local artists and advertisement in specialized magazine where it does not have international circulation, and also exhibition like the Mata Fair. Lastly is the ways to promote a destination to these types of people. So there are three types of people which have been evaluated by Khadija. There are older people who wants to try to experience something new. Um, Backpackers who wants to do something different, and new groups of consumers who see adventure as an exciting alternative. So for this type of people comes suitable activities for them. For older people, their activities are more laid back and relaxed, so hot air ballooning is perfect for them. For backpackers, where they are usually either hiking or mountain climbing, and since they want to do something different, windsurfing is suitable for them. And lastly, the new group of consumers where they like extreme activities, snowboarding is perfect for them. So to promote these activities, it can through websites and advertisement on newspapers for older people, and also for the backpackers, also through websites and brochures or flyers where they are usually out and about going to different places, so they are more likely to collect brochures or flyers. And lastly, for the new group of consumers, they like to go to exhibitions where they like to gain more information or knowledge on the specific activities. So that is all for me, from me. Thank you.